We live. It's Christian here. I wanted to record this quick video because this is my tutor, Amel, who I started learning French with about 6 months ago. He just arrived in Paris 2 days ago from Kyiv. So he was in Ukraine, and I thought this would be cool for me to document this because this is our first time meeting in person. And I'm also super interested in hearing about his journey and how the war has, really affected his life. Amel, talk to me, man.
Thank you very much for giving me a chance to explain and to tell about this experience.
Yeah.
It was something I have never expected to happen to me. I decided to go to Ukraine because I wanted to start my life in Eastern Europe again, because I was living in Japan, and I left Japan to start a new life in this part of the world. So 1 year ago I moved to Ukraine. I moved to Kyiv, Ukraine, and from there I worked online. So I had a small business, and I taught online with the different platforms where I met you.
Yeah.
Okay. So everything was fine. I was starting, to settle when there were two threats. The first threat came in, I think, late. In the summer, something like that. Okay. They were talking about, the Russian coming to invade Ukraine, but nobody really believed that. But in the winter, there was a second threat with, military practices at the border. So for like 2 weeks, Ukraine was threatened by that. But what happened? Just one day, they just left. So we were all relieved, thinking that the threat was over. Mm-hmm. But like 2 or 3 days after, they invaded. They invaded the country. So at that time, being in Ukraine for about a year, I said, okay, this is my new home. This is my place. I have no intention to leave. On the 24th, what happened? There was a new notice from the French embassy saying that, okay, please stay at home, don't move away. Stay at home, don't move, store your food, we'll be there for you if you need any assistance. And on the 28th
of February, right?
February 28th, one of my best friend, who is French and who is in Paris, told me, he woke up, he called me at 3 o'clock in the morning saying, okay, the French embassy and the French Foreign Affairs has just made a statement saying that they will not be able to help us leave Ukraine if something bad happened. So we had to find a way, as expatriates, as foreign people in Ukraine, we had to find a way to leave Ukraine by all means. So I left at 8 o'clock in the morning on March 1st.
Wow.
And I was ready, I was ready to walk like 600 kilometers on the west side, because I heard of, bombings, minefields, those kind of stuff, crazy stuff.
Wow.
And I say, okay, what am I going to do? I can't go to the city center. They are bombing the city center. People are in the shelter, because basically I don't watch the news. I try to avoid watching the news.
Same.
Because, of all those things people say, they may be true, they may be not true. I don't want to hear those kind of things. So I haven't watched TV for like maybe 20 years. I don't have a TV. I don't watch TV. I don't. I read newspaper, but very little. I don't read, because it's real. Anyway, so when my friend called me, he told me to leave because he believed the sources. And at that time, I received a note, a mail. It was a WhatsApp message from the how can I say that in English? like it's an office from the Ministry of Defense, the Foreign Affairs. They told us, okay, it's safe to go to the station. You should go to the station. Don't try to go to the west on your own. Try first to go to the station and try station? In the center, city center.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I wasn't in the city center per se. I was like in the outskirts of Kyiv.
Gotcha.
I was in so I had the choice to go to the city center on the east or to the border, like 600 kilometers away on that side. So I decided, based on that email, based on that WhatsApp message that I received, I decided to try the station. So I went to the main train station in Kyiv. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Main train station. Yeah.
main train station in Kyiv. So I made up my mind. I went there. So it was snowy, and I walked. It's about 10 to 15, maybe 10 kilometers. 10 kilometers. I tried to. It was snowy. I tried to walk, but it was very, very. I will show you the pictures a little later. I tried to walk. It was very cold, snowy, and I hitchhiked twice.
Wow.
And two guys took me, one to the tram station and the other one to the city, to the main train station. Okay, so there are checkpoints from where I left to the train station. There were barricades, checkpoints. You have to identify yourself. They're checking the cars, looking. I mean, not the military, but the fighters, the civilians who decided to fight the army. I mean, people like you and I.
Yeah.
Okay, they put on armbands with the two colors, like blue and gold, and they checked everyone, every car, even the buses. They checked everything.
Yeah.
So I managed to arrive at the station. It wasn't that packed. It wasn't that crowded, but cars, trains coming from the east. I mean, Odessa, Dnipro, Kharkiv, where the war started.
Yeah.
All those people left, or people living in those areas left those cities and went into the train. So when you are in Kyiv and try to get into those trains, they are already packed. And they had this policy, women and children first. As a single traveler, I couldn't board those trains going to Lviv on the western border, the border with Poland, 670 kilometers to the border. So I couldn't get there. I couldn't board a train. I tried 3 times and I couldn't board it. They were packed, and there was no way I could have entered those trains. So I decided to change my plan, and to, instead of boarding a train to Lviv, to board a train to any place in the west, any to be safe, because that was the message. That was the point of the message. The point was you should leave the city. You should go out wherever you can. So I decided to go to a place called Ternopil, that was still 200 kilometers away from the western border, but still very, very far from Kyiv.
Yeah.
So I was on the station. I wait, change my plan to the first train that went to Ternopil, bound for Ternopil, and I was on the first, so I couldn't find a seat. But it was a 6 hours ride. I was standing for 6 hours.
Oh my gosh.
6 hours. It was packed, not as packed as the train to Lviv, but nevertheless, really, really packed. So we arrived at maybe 8 o'clock, something like that, 8 o'clock at night. I slept at the train station, and the same thing happened. Trains were packed, train to Lviv were packed, and something else, you had announcement, and you had, the train, the timetable with the trains, nothing matched no announcements matched the train that was coming. So you had like a train to Lviv at 2 o'clock in the morning. You go to the platform, there's no train.
Wow.
Okay, so I was tired, hungry, cold, and despaired, but I didn't lose faith. So I stood on the platform. It was still cold, still snowy, still winter in Kyiv. I went to the platform. I did the same. Stood on the platform and waited for any train that came. One train came, and that train was bound for Uzhgorod. That is another city closer to the border, but not next to the Polish border, but to the Slovakian border, a little southwards. This train was less crowded than the train that I've taken so far. So I took that one. And everything was fine. I couldn't sleep because I was sitting on like a stool in the aisle. Every 2 minutes somebody had to get some water, go to the bathroom. So I was like standing, sitting, living, making way for people to go to the bathroom. So no sleep. No sleep in the station, at the station, no sleep in the train. So when this train was bound for Uzhgorod, but it stopped at Lviv. Now, what happened in Lviv was that because I was in the aisle, I was preventing people to go out. People couldn't go out because I had all my bags. So I had to get out of the train to make way. Now, I went out of the way. I had people, with strollers, with baby cars, getting out of the train. But then, because I stepped foot on the platform, I wasn't able to go back into the train. I wasn't able to board the train again.
Oh my gosh.
I stayed 4 hours in Lviv. I talked to many people, any types of people from any backgrounds. I talked to, when I was there, I talked to students from Korea, South Korea, students from China, students from Africa. Some of them were there for 2 or 3 days in Lviv.
Wow.
And they couldn't board because groups of young men, even the Korean, they bought the tickets. All my journey was free. I didn't buy any tickets, but they did buy tickets. They couldn't board, even with tickets, because the policy was women and children first. At the bus station, people were starting to make business. Trying to make money, taking refugees to the border. So a ride was something like 2,000 hryvnia. I don't know how much it does in USD, but like 2,000 hryvnia to go to the station. But still, only women, only children, elderly people, and men taking the bus with their family. That was it. So I couldn't take a train. I couldn't take a bus. So I decided same strategy. Go on the platform. Wait, platforms are deserted. Everybody is in the station, in the waiting room. Everybody is in the at the square in front of the station, but nobody's on the platform. I don't know why. I couldn't understand why, but anyway. I didn't stand. I sit on the platform with my luggage. I was like, 4 hours later, I was like too tired to do anything. No cash. Oh, I had no cash. I only use my credit cards, my debit cards, no cash. So I sit on the platform, first train to Uzhgorod. So I took the train to Uzhgorod. Uzhgorod is the border. I thought it was the border at the Slovakian border. So I went there. At night we arrived at the next day, 8 p.m. the next day. So I arrived at Uzhgorod. I took a bus, a free bus. Everything from there was free. A bus dedicated to refugees. So I took the bus to the border. I thought it was a Slovakian border, the passport control.
Yeah.
So I took a bus there, and from like 8:30 to 12:30 midnight, I stood in line. I mean, standing in line, like you stand on one leg and then the other one try to rest on an arm of an armchair, but really 4 hours. It was hard. So I was like I said, 12:30. I was a meter away from the people. So when you are in the station, same policy goes. They have all the women, mostly students, going first. All the women. At that point, no children. I haven't seen any children at night. So at that point, only women. And there must have been 2,000, 3,000 people in the room. And they were letting men coming through 20 at a time. 20 people at a time. So you have all the women going, and you have basically male from, I would say, 19, 20, 30, 40, between that age range, waiting in line to go through customs. I was so tired, I nearly collapsed. So I asked for help, and they took me to a school where I slept for like 4 hours before coming back. So in the morning, I came back in line. I stood there for 2 hours, and I went through the border control, the passport control. And I understood that the bus that took us from Uzhgorod station to the place where we were didn't cross the border, but just went south to cross the Hungarian border. So I crossed the Hungarian border, and I was safe there 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I arrived in Hungary. They gave us tickets, free tickets to go to Budapest, the capital city. And there, I went to the French embassy. So that was the part where my Ukrainian story ended. And now I am here, and my European journey is it's starting basically. It has started two days ago, but everything is closed on Saturday and Sunday. I can't do nothing. So this is really, like I said, this is really the first day.
Yeah. So how does it feel to know that everything that's going on, in Ukraine? Like, how does it feel for you?
I feel fortunate to be French, and I feel very, very fortunate to be here because I had the choice.
Yeah.
I had the choice and option to come here. And a lot of people, they don't have choice.
Yeah.
And I decided to come here to be safe and to... because now what happened, there is a siege, okay? You can't go out, basically. So you're trapped in Kyiv. People who are in Kyiv now are trapped. No more food. Water is shortening. There is no water left, basically. Electricity, gas is lacking. So people are trapped there.
Wow.
And I have friends who decided to stay. I have two of my friends, French people, who decided to stay there. And I'm reading stories of people, even French people, who want to fight because they have Ukrainian, family members there. When I was at the border, I talked to a Ukrainian French woman. She was married to a French guy, and she was going to the border to welcome her French husband so he can be with the family, the Ukrainian family. So their lives there, I mean, in my case, I feel very, very fortunate to be here today because I had the chance.
Yeah.
And this is how I feel. Do I feel safe here? Well, it's another story because, I'm here, but I have nothing. Okay, I left everything there. So, I don't feel unsafe anymore.
Nice.
That's the answer. And I feel sorry for the people who are trapped and stuck in Ukraine.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so sad, man. So what's next for you now?
The next for me is to find a room to stay, a place to stay. Like, fortunately, if I have a computer, I can work.
Yeah.
But I need a place to stay. First, because now I'm staying at the hotel. I paid for 3 nights, so I already slept 2 nights. I have 1 night left, and I try to urgently. I try to find some way of long-term accommodation, something that is sustainable for me. So that's the first goal. I tried. They were closed. This is France. This is France. But anyway, I tried to. I would try again this afternoon. I would try again to find something, because I need a place to stay, to be able to work, to be able to make money, because I have no money. Everything, my money that is in Ukraine, I have to forget it. Because no bank transaction. You can withdraw cash. You can transfer cash. You can't do anything. It's frozen. Everything is frozen. So my money is, I can't use that money.
Wow.
Okay. So no money, no room to stay, no books, no books anymore.
Oh,
I have nothing. This is my money. I have clothes in a different bag, and that's it. That's all my life now. Now, I hope, and this is my hope for my friends that are in Ukraine, that the war will end very, very soon, so people can go back to their normal lives as fast as possible. Okay, this is my wish. This is all I'm hoping for, that the war ends and that people go back to their life as soon as possible. And then I'll be able to go back, because I have an apartment in Kyiv. I have an apartment. My landlord came back. He is Ukrainian, but he works in Poland. Mm-hmm. He came back from Poland to fight.
Wow.
So I don't know the future, but I only hope for the best. I only hope that people will be able to live their life as normal as possible. Okay, because I'm French, but my home is not in France. I'm not. My home is not here. I want to go back to Ukraine. I want to live my life in Ukraine, because this is where I am happy. You see.
Wow, yeah.
So I don't know what to do. To be honest, I know that I need to work. I need a computer. I need internet, and I need a place to stay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
And a little water and coffee.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
That's my pleasure. I hope it will be helpful for the people watching us. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Thank you guys for watching. Wow, powerful story. Now we're about to talk some more. But thank you for watching. Wish for the best. Peace.
Thank you very much.